Hello, and welcome to this video on why singers, don't actually need vocal rest.
Oh! No! Don't say that!
Yeah, what a bold statement, huh? So we're going to get into that. What is vocal rest commonly used for, and why it doesn't actually work? Your symptoms typically come back after any period of vocal rest, and what does actually get to the root cause, so that you can talk as loud as you want at the after party of your next big concert, rather than not talking at all. So you feel really good after even a long rehearsal. So we're going to talk about how you can get there.
But before we get started, we do want to mention, well, hey, I'm Aaron Bigeleisen.
Oh yeah, I'm Joseph Arnold.
So this is, so before we get started, so we have a couple of courses, that one of which is free and one of which is paid. The free one, 5 simple and surprisingly effective techniques for playing the most
For releasing tension and relieving pain,
even when playing the most difficult music.
There we go.
We chose a very simple and succinct title. No, we didn't. We chose a title that actually says what it does, because that's what it's for.
There you go.
It's we'll tell you more about it later. The other one is
The magic pause. And this is the single most powerful tool for instant relief from the tension and pain that causes musicians injuries. Yeah, the tightness and tension that causes ongoing injuries. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that too at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is going on with vocal rest? Why would somebody even take vocal rest as a singer?
Well, I will speak to my own experience. So when I was in conservatory, at the end of my towards the end of my first semester, I was losing my voice more and more consistently. So towards the end of a rehearsal, I would start to feel pain, like kind of here-ish. I didn't even really necessarily know. And I just couldn't really phonate all that much by the end of a rehearsal. And even by taking it easy in whatever choir rehearsal, or being in the opera ensemble or something like that, and really husbanding my voice in other places, not talking loud at parties and not necessarily going out all that much, I was still losing my voice a bunch. So one of the standard remedies is go on vocal rest.
So much fun.
Whee! So just take 2 weeks. It was in between semesters for me, so I just watched Netflix and watched TV and had a really fun time at a party, not talking to people, and people were like, "Why aren't you talking?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's so mysterious." So if you're really into engaging people that way, then vocal rest is really interesting. But at the end of this time, so my voice did feel better. I felt great. I felt, oh, look, I got my voice back. And then back to school, back to singing.
Yeah.
So then I started to lose my voice again. So it is a temporary measure that doesn't actually get to the root cause of what causes vocal fatigue.
Yeah. So we're both Alexander Technique people. Alexander Technique teacher, and Aaron's soon to be
A month away.
And Mr. Alexander, way back when, this was what he experienced too, which is why he came up with the Alexander Technique, which was, he was an actor. He did Shakespeare, and he would lose his voice even in the middle of a performance. And after, doing vapor steams, for his voice, and being on vocal rest, he would still lose his voice in the middle of all this. So the Alexander Technique has deep roots in helping vocalists really get to the root cause of what's going on, so that there's not so much tension and fatigue, and you can do a whole performance feeling good, and not so tired, not so tight, and without having to do all the jaws, because none of those things really get to the root cause. So what is the root cause of vocal tension and fatigue?
Woo! This is so exciting. So all right. So I mean, just as a caveat, like this is a short video, and as time goes on, we're going to release more and more long form videos, and we also have this course, which we'll tell you about, the magic pause, which is really something that will fundamentally change the way that you get that to address the root cause of pain and tension. So just to say that, like, this is really central to undoing a lot of what we're going to talk about now, is to undoing a lot of the tension, and also that this process, that this is really these prompts are an invitation towards the beginning of a process. So the root cause of vocal tension and fatigue, it's not related to like necessarily how loud you sing, though that can be some of a contributing factor, and it's not necessarily how long you sing either. It's how you are using yourself, or basically how much effort you think you need to put into the vocal process. And there's a lot of reasons why we do that. But that's basically it. It's like, what beliefs do you have about how much effort you need to hold in your body when you sing? So,
but wait, I just want to feel relaxed. I don't have beliefs about my body that are causing tension. What are you talking about?
But you do, you do, you do. Okay, so just for example, I'm going to say a word, and then you just notice in your body how you feel. Sight reading. What do you notice in your body right then? Did you get more easy or less easy? And if you got less easy, like me, so that's a habit about how much energy, how much effort, how much tightness we need to hold in our body,
right,
in order to do what it is we need to do.
Because sight reading could be effortless.
It could actually be effortless.
It could be. Yeah. So, but there's maybe experience that you have in sight reading. Ooh, this feels hard. Or even just hearing other people talk about it, like, oh, sight reading is so hard. We take in these kinds of experiences as beliefs about how much muscular effort it feels like we should use.
Yeah.
And the truth is, usually we use way too much without really realizing it. And that gets to the real nub of the problem, not realizing that we're using this much effort.
But Joseph, if I don't realize it, how do I start? How do I begin to realize that I'm using way too much muscular tension in my body?
Yeah, well, you got to start noticing your body, right? If you don't actually notice, well, it's just like, if you don't look in your closet, you're not going to see how messy it is, right? And then you might not have a chance to clean it up. If you don't notice your body, then you don't have a choice about what's going on in your body. Take that in for a moment. This is really, really important. If you don't actually notice your body, your whole body, because that's important, your whole body while you're singing, then you don't have a choice about like whether or not you need that much effort. Maybe you can let go a little bit. So it really does start with having the wherewithal, even just the idea, like, oh, I could notice my hands and feet while I sing.
Yeah.
Even though you don't, we typically think, this is one of the beliefs that gets in the way of really singing freely, is that singing happens right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's happened time and again that, as a singer, like, okay, notice your fingertips while you sing, and they get freer.
Yeah.
Because they didn't realize they were tightening.
You might even notice that, like, right at this moment, if you notice that you have a head, that you have fingertips, you have toes, and you have a back. What happens to you? For me, I just get so much easier.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be lovely if this were your default state for making music?
Yeah.
Like an energized, alive version of this quality of ease.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty freaking good to me.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot that gets in the way of that, especially in a conservatory setting.
Yeah, so something that's kind of unique to singers, this is what I experienced. Before I went to conservatory, I was in musicals, and I would practice a little bit, but mostly I was just like a good natural singer. And so I had a beautiful instrument, and that's really enough. That's enough for most singers to get into conservatory. So I went from a life of, like most of my focus and effort was on academics, and then shifting to a life of singing all the time. So I can't remember Debbie Adams, who's an Alexander Technique teacher, a lovely Alexander Technique teacher, who works with a lot with musicians. She talks about this idea of trauma being too much too fast. So, you could think of a small example of that is it's like too much too fast and not having the time to process it. So, something like, not to like poke at an angry hornet's nest, but like COVID, like COVID for us in the States anyway, it really came like too much too fast, right? Like one day life's just open and good, and then like things go crazy. That it was too much for our systems to handle all at once. If we had started to prepare in January, probably would have been a lot easier. So similarly, when most singers get to conservatory, they're kind of used to singing a little bit here and there, and like maybe they have a nice little recital with their family and friends and stuff like that. And then it's singing all music all day, all the time. And even that by itself, it will greatly exacerbate any vocal problems and musculoskeletal difficulties that you have.
Yeah, so jumping it right into that, and plus the conservatory ethos is push yourself as hard as you can. And if you don't, then you're not going to make the cut. And that's really stressful.
And also not true at all.
Yeah.
Just by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you really take care of yourself, if your body's happy, if your emotions are, like a little bit on the brighter side of, baseline, if you're basically taking care of yourself, then guess what? Your music's going to be better. Your voice is going to sound better. You're not going to get as tired. And this is where like sensing your body comes in too, because that's a really basic self-care thing. Like, okay, maybe I don't notice that I'm making myself this tired because I'm not paying attention. And so I make myself overtired, and that's when you really get into trouble. Yeah. So this process is to start you're calibrating your sensors. So oftentimes we just kind of don't listen to the sensors at all until the like big warning lights. That's what this or extreme pain or something. Those are huge warning lights because we've been ignoring the little rattles in the car for a long time. We made a couple of really, really, really good tools to start to hone in on this. Or home in on this, excuse me. So the first one, the 5 simple and surprisingly effective techniques for reducing pain and relieving tension, even when playing the most difficult music. Wow. Whew, I actually got it, I think, mostly. Yeah.
So this one, that's our free course, and it does actually kick ass. It does. It kicks ass. They're 5 simple and surprisingly effective techniques for reducing it, so on and so forth. They will actually help you. It takes less than 20 minutes, and it will change your life if you sign up.
If you really apply them. That they will all help you, like really start to get in touch with what's happening in your body, so that you'll pick up on those warning signs sooner. And also, so you can begin to have some real tools around relaxation. Relaxation is a skill, people.
Yeah.
It's a skill. And musicians need to learn this. This is the most important skill. Which is why we also made this other course, the Magic Pause. And you can sign up now, and we have a cutoff date. We're going to do our big sort of launch week in mid-June. So the cutoff date is 6/14. And what happens then, if you sign up before then, is that you can get access to a free, exclusive live masterclass on the Magic Pause with us. Where you can actually show up, and we'll do it together, and you can, so we'll actually pick a couple people of you to do your thing, and we'll apply the Magic Pause to your music, so you get some real hands-on help there. And then there are all kinds of other bonuses in the course. You can check it out using the link below. And with that course, you're going to have something. It's so important, this feeling of empowerment. It's like, okay, now I have this thing I can do that actually makes a difference. in how I feel, and how I perform. And I've taught this technique, the magic pause, to all my students, even the really little ones, and even the really little ones get it and can do it. So it's very simple, and yet so powerful. There's one leverage place where you're going to stick that crowbar and move the dial. Not mix many metaphors here. This is the thing.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
And it always works, and it always kicks ass.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have more videos on vocal technique and how to really take care of your voice and sing so beautifully and without all that tension and strain. Yeah. You can just sing and feel good about it.
Yeah. And talk your ass off at the after party and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So, subscribe to this channel, please.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us with our podcast link below as well.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're listening, YouTube channel. Let's see. Oh, please reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please reach out to us.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Okay.
All right. That's a wrap. Thanks, everybody.